Hey guys, so today I'm going to give you guys a little tutorial on tattoo cover. So this is just one of the very small tattoos on my arm that I'm going to kind of use as an example today. I'm going to do two separate videos on two different methods. So the first method we're actually going to be talking about is probably the way I do it 95% of the time, and that is with an airbrush. And so this is the Temp 2 SP35, and I use the Temp 2 S1 compressor as well. And so we're just going to go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first things first, we're just going to take a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Well, actually not rubbing alcohol, this is the 99% isopropyl alcohol. Just on a little cotton swab, and just make sure we kind of wipe down that area, make sure there are no excess oils. To prep the skin, I also did shave this area of my arm. If you're trying to do a tattoo cover over hair, any sort of fine kind of peach fuzz hair, it can be very, very difficult. So I recommend whenever possible to shave that area first. So as you can see, it's just kind of a standard black tattoo. On my skin, these black tones tend to have more kind of a blue cast. So what I'm going to be using is actually just another foundation color, but something with more kind of an orangey tone to it. So it's going to be something a little bit darker. So I'm going to use something like this color right here. It's got that really nice kind of orangey tone. This is Natural Mocha, number 009. It's actually just a foundation shade. I prefer to use the Dura colors for tattoo cover just because they don't go anywhere. And most of the time when I'm doing tattoo cover, it's in circumstances where they really need to be kind of smudge proof and budge proof. And so this works really great, especially if you're going to be doing a tattoo cover for a bride or some kind of video shoot, those kinds of things. So we're just going to start with a couple of drops of that color in our gun. And we're going to turn on the compressor. I'm going to apologize right now because it's probably going to be really loud, and so we'll just kind of talk as I go. And so what you're going to want to do is make sure you keep the air pressure nice and low. And we're actually going to try and keep really, really close to the actual tattoo and kind of trace over each individual line. And you can see I've kind of worked to basically a full coverage with that orangey tone. You want to make sure there's really not too much of the black still showing through. There's still a little bit here. I might just apply a little bit more there and a little bit more in this top region where I can still see a little bit of the tattoo. And there you have the finished color correction, just like so. So then we're just going to clean out our gun with a little bit of that alcohol again. Spray it into a paper towel. Alrighty, so I've mixed up a matching foundation shade. I used about 4 drops of pure beige, number 005, and then about 10 drops of 001 porcelain. And so with these two, I'm going to start tracing over everything that I spent all that time color correcting. I'm just going to trace over everything, kind of start blending out the edges. And there you can see I basically just followed the tattoo and the kind of that color correction right to where we had it. You can still see it a little bit, so what we're going to do is we're going to do another layer, but this time I'm going to hold the gun further away, so it disperses a little bit less color and it's more blended over a larger area. And use that to kind of fade everything out. And there you can see that just about did it as far as the actual coverage goes. So what I like to do to set these, you always do need a powder with the Dura colors. Oftentimes You'll see people just using a transparent powder or something like that, but what I actually prefer to do most of the time is to either use the Select Sheer powders by MAC or even the Studio Fix powders, just because they do give it a little bit more coverage, and they do help kind of blend out everything as well. Just gonna keep it nice and matte and make sure nothing's sticky or anything like that. I'm just using a powder puff. Just below a powder puff. Just kind of pat over that. And there you have it. The one thing I will say to note, especially if you're trying to do anything for close-up photography, you can probably still see right in this area. Most tattoos will tend to have some texture that you obviously can't cover up as well, so be really mindful of that sometimes, especially for like this tattoo, which was very fine lines and then no other shading around it. It'll tend to be very lined, so you can still see some of the texture, but that way all of the color is uniform. You just get this really nice uniform tone, and the nice thing about these Duracolors is they don't go anywhere. You can rub them, they're transfer proof, they're water resistant. I've done aquatic shoots where the models have been in water and had to have tattoos covered like this, and this has worked like a charm. Alright, and that is everything for today's tutorial. If you guys have any more questions or comments, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. While you're at it, go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons, and I'll see all of you guys again next time. Bye-bye.